Hi, welcome to episode 86 of Creepy Soup.
Welcome.
So, we want to thank everybody for being so understanding and apologize for not coming out with one last week. I did get a message from your mom later on Sunday evening about the episode hasn't uploaded yet. Oops, we didn't put one out. Um, there were some issues. It was just a bad week all around last week. I was having horrible connection issues, and even if there was nothing else going on, I probably wouldn't have been able to record because of said issues. Anyone that's been watching it sees how it was like freezing, and we solved it. We solved the problem without having to get a new router. There was many devices, many devices not in this house that was connected to our router.
Yep. It was a bandwidth issue.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But got that changed, and we last Sunday we did jump on real quick to do like a test of it, and there was some issues, but it wasn't bad, it wasn't horrible, and so far today we haven't had anything. So yeah, so um how are you?
Peachy.
I don't know what that means. Um yeah, I've had a shitty week. I thought I had strep throat. Turns out it wasn't strep throat because I thought strep throat was causing my ears to hurt. Turns out I had severe inner ear infections in both ears, which was causing the sore throat. So yeah,
Yeah.
that
And how
was
are
fun.
your ears doing today?
My ears seem better, but my throat still hurts.
You sound a little congested, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure it's a whole thing.
yeah. Just chop it off. Fuck it. I don't need it. I don't use none of it anyway.
Yeah, you do. Use your mouth.
True enough. True enough.
There you go.
Yeah.
You couldn't annoy people if you didn't have that.
That's true. That's true. Um, and that's I don't know that's just me. Um, so
That's
again,
why I love you.
we're recording a little later in the week than we normally do. Um, and um, today is actually my daughter's third wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary to her and Mike. And it's also Mike's birthday. Like, look, I can understand having a special day to get married, but I would not. And I've told him this. I've told him, like, why would you want to get married on your birthday? But I mean, to each their own, I guess. I mean, I get Valentine's Day or Halloween or, St. Patrick's Day, any of those, but I would not want to get married on my birthday. It's
Yeah,
bad enough that some years I have to share my birthday with Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say that's one that you can pick. You typically don't pick a day that's already important.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're picking someone else's birthday to be petty. Like that I get. I totally understand that. But
Fair.
um yeah. So happy anniversary. The 3 years today.
Happy
And
birthday.
she's spending all day at work, 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening. She's got a long day. So
That sucks.
yeah. Um, other than that, long shitty week at work. I did find out, however, in July we're having a week shutdown, and we're shutting down a week early for Christmas. So I'm gonna have some time off, and I'm kind of excited about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did my interview this
Yeah.
week for my new position, which it turned into such a thing, and it really didn't need to. But at the same time, I'm gonna make it a thing because it irritates me. It
Oh, it
really
would be
does.
too.
Um, so when I hired into the position that I'm in now, it was rather chaotic in the department. It was just reopening shortly after COVID. We'd been open less than 6 months when I had initially applied for the position. Unfortunately, some very important people in the department ended up catching COVID and passing away from it. They shared an office.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, it kind of needed to be completely restructured because of that. Um, and I was having such severe reactions to the chemicals and everything. It was, we need to get her out now, kind of a thing. Um, and so it was very much wham bam, thank you, ma'am, you're in. Um, and nobody really caught the fact that I didn't have a diploma. It was mentioned and then essentially forgot.
Which in a case like that, I can understand. Like you,
Hmm.
if with all the chaos and yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, understandable. Um, and I don't put the blame on any one person in particular, it's just it is what it is. And then when I applied for this position, and I was doing the interview, she's like, "Oh, I think you did this wrong." She's like, "About your schooling." And she's like, "When did you graduate?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't." She's like, "What?" She's like, "Do you have a GED?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Wait, what?" And then, things kind of spiraled from there, and it turned into the whole, well, you deceived us, and how basically they don't know where to go from here. And um, oh, what was the other one? Oh, how I need history and all of that, to get this completed and things like that. I guarantee you, I don't need to know no history to do my job. The little part that I need to know is taught to me. I got it. I've learned it 3 years ago. Pass that test every year. Um, a diploma or a GED is clearly not needed. It's not a need for the job. I proved that. Um, However, later that night I had gone into work and I went on my break and I go downstairs and there is a peculiar smell lingering about the back of the house, which is what we call the employee area. And I go outside, come to find out one of our security guards was cooking. He was trying to reheat French fries in a pizza oven. That's fine. Not undoable. I guarantee it. However, the fault came in when he used a styrofoam plate to put them on. And my intelligence is being questioned. This motherfucker's supposed to be keeping us safe. He damn near started the whole casino on fire. If I'm not mistaken, that pizza oven is currently out in the boneyard. Yep, and he's got to replace it.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, but hey,
Wonderful.
I need a diploma to do my job.
Now, what happens if they
My
just,
guess is that because they have to talk to HR, be like, hey, what do we do here? We got an issue. We've never had this before, but I know it's happened before. I've been told flat out it has. I'm not the only one. We just happened to skate through.
gotcha, gotcha.
Um, because initially when I got hired at the casino, I started as a cook. I didn't need one to be a cook. Didn't have to have a gaming license to be a cook. So yeah, I was able to get into the casino without having it. And allergies has put me where I am today.
Hmm.
Um, but my guess is that they're going to say I have to get it within X amount of time, probably either before the full transition of the new system or within, X amount of time after, um, which I don't know 100%, but I should be able to just take the tests and do it that way. So,
Excuse me. Um, um, well, good luck with that. And
thanks.
because that sounds like such a joy to have to deal with.
40 years old. Can go get my GED.
Yeah.
To be fair, my husband just got his last year and he's 42. So you're never too old.
True enough. I know, um, because I did things kind of stupid. Um, I was pregnant with my daughter my senior year of high school, and I did suffer horrible morning sickness with her. So I missed a lot of school. And this is the cringy part. April of my senior year, I got kicked out of school because of the absences. Yeah, a month and a
That's
half to go.
rude.
A month and a half to go. That's
That's
all I
messed
had.
up.
A month and a half. Um, I mean, I get the school standpoint, but at the same time, my standpoint really kind of sucked. So after I had her, I did go back to night school. Um, and I know they've since like redid the way the whole adult education here is. Um, the school I went to, you had to be at least 17 and there was no age limit. Now it's 16 to 20. And I don't even know like if you're 35 and don't have your diploma and you want to get a diploma, if you can even do that here anymore. I don't know. Well, anyway, I went through, and when I was there, I had a lady in my class that was 70 there to get her diploma.
Wow.
Yeah. So literally, you're never too old. She did it. She graduated with us. My stepdad had never graduated high school and he went back to night school, and he actually passed away while he was still attending school.
Oh,
And because he was a good student while he was attending this, they actually named an award after him.
hmm.
And it's always been given to somebody at least in their mid 20s,
That's cool. I
not
like
one
that.
of the younger students. So
Hmm.
I know the first couple years the recipients of the award were in their late 40s.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah. So yeah, it was. And then the one year my sister-in-law won it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I haven't looked into it here in probably 20 years. Because at one point I was gonna get it. And back then I had to go to the technical college. And there was a class that you could take to determine like where your strengths were, excuse me, and things like that as far as like what you need to work on to be able to get a GED. And with that one, it's just like the core things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, However, if you want to get an actual diploma, then there is also a history and economics test that you need to take. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or at least back then there was. And so yeah, you could do one or the other. There was two different ways to do it. Um, and then once you were ready to take the test, like it was all your own decision when you thought you were ready, then you could pay and go to the class and um, take the test or whatever. However, if they thought that you needed more actual class time in any subject, then they would help you as far as getting signed up and things like that.
Okay.
Um, and I have the weakness of math, um, but not just any math. It's very specific, fractions, percents, and decimals. The rest of it I can do.
Hmm. Yeah, it now I've always hated math. So like when I had homework, I would do math first to get it out of the fucking way because I hated it, but I'm good at it. I mean, not so much now because I don't use it every day like I used to so much that one of the teachers when I was going to school for my diploma said, "You really should think about a career in math." So I went to college for accounting and I'm a shop rat.
Yeah. I was told that I have great aptitude for essentially being one, because I'm very good at doing the same task repeatedly for long
Mhm.
periods, and my dexterity is very good. So yeah, that's what I was told back then. Probably not so much now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how as you get older, you don't use it, you lose it. And oh yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm like my granddaughter is in like the dancing and the flipping and the kicking and the splits and all that. She's like, I bet you can't do it. I'm like, I could 20 years ago. Can I now? Absolutely the fuck not. Um, because 20 years ago I had back surgery and it has not fared well for me. So yeah.
I haven't attempted any of that in probably 20 years as well. I probably wouldn't be able to either.
Yeah.
Um, but on a funnier note, mine was more so a weight issue as to why I couldn't do any of it. And so yeah, since a lot of that is gone now, I don't know.
Give it a try.
Ironically, in the last week, I've had multiple people um come up to me and comment on either how much I've lost, how good I'm looking, or what an inspiration I am. So that's kind of cool. And I've gotten, I think, three, four other people at work to start doing laps and to kind of help to improve themselves. Because every
See,
now and again, like as I'm doing laps, people will jump in and do laps with me.
join you, become a little group, a little gang.
Yep.
Um,
The
no,
last
my
couple of
big
days, I've been fucking with the rest of the employees because, like, even though my break times are very set, um, still you never know when I'm going to pop out onto the floor, and I kind of come out like a pinball. I just, phew, I go. And it's funny because I come out a door in the back and I just, and anytime there was an employee in front of me, I would be at the back. I always have my earbuds in and I
Mhm.
play music. I have a favorite little tune lately, and it's the beginning of it is kind of carnivalesque type. And so I have pretended to be in a conga line. I've been doing dance party. Um, and I did a few other little dances behind everyone. At one point, the conga line one was the freaking best because there was literally four people in front of me in a line and it went ding, 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 ding. And then I was like halfway in between the last two people. The one right in front of me was really tall. And then it was another woman who was like the same height as me. And so I'm back there dancing, even though they're turning and looking at each other and talking and, interacting with customers around them. They couldn't see me at the back. However, as we're going, the patrons can see because they're lined up down each side and we're going down the middle. Here's me at the back. So they're laughing as everyone else is walking by because they see me, but the people in front of me don't see me.
Now, I don't know how I don't lose more weight because one, I don't eat a lot, and when I'm at work, I get 16,000 steps. And the parts I lift are kind of heavy, and I've got like the bat wings, but little by little they're going away because I have to pick them up and lift them. And
Can I borrow some of those parts for mine? Because they're pretty extreme.
oh, there's times that I dread going down there and doing that portion of my job because when the one rack is full, it's up quite high. So therefore, like the way I gotta lift, like it does it, like I can feel it here and in my shoulder. And yeah, it's not a fun job. And then once you put a certain part on them, then I gotta hang them on a rack. And yeah, it does get so I mean they're disappearing a little bit. A little quicker would be nice. But you know what?
That's
I'll
the
take
hardest spot for women to lose.
yeah, that is the way to do it. Let me tell you, because like I said, I've got a ways to go. I'm aware of this, but they have gotten better. So
Nice. I'm
yeah,
glad.
we'll see. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of walking on my job. Like, because before I would hit that, and I had a very small, like a 20-foot footprint is what it's called. Well, now it's I would say I've got the one section that's got the three parts. That area is probably about 10 feet. And then I got another area that's probably 30 feet lined with parts. And I got to go walk and grab the parts, put them on a rack. And then the other part, which is like 6 feet away from that, excuse me. Um, and then that's probably another 25, 30 feet. And then, a couple times a day I walk to the bathroom to go to the bathroom. And now what I'm not supposed to do is vape, but one of the like I have my desk and then there's like a stairway that goes up to fix anything above me. I'll go back there. I'm not supposed to. I don't go outside except for lunchtime. That's it. I don't have time to take breaks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. I don't have a team leader to give breaks either. So,
That's the messed up part.
yeah. Yeah. I don't. Anyway, so do you have anything exciting coming up?
Nope.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to pick up in a little bit a few things that I don't really need, but I'm getting them anyway because good deal. I'm getting some tables that when it gets a little warmer outside, I'm gonna take them outside and redo them. But until then, I don't know where I'm gonna put them. So that's
Fun.
gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Like trying to figure that. And I do have to redo the table I did last year, and I'm not happy about it. Um, there was some marker on the table, and I had already thought, nope, don't use it. But then I'm like, well, it shouldn't hurt. Um, magic erasers, that shit will
Mhm.
remove the finish off of things.
Oh,
And there's a few spots that it did mess up the table that I did last year, so I gotta redo it.
that's tough.
Not happy about it. So now I'm going to redo that first, and then I'm going to redo these other two tables because they're older tables, so they're solid wood. They're not like the cheapy particle board type tables. There's also a set of like a coffee table and an end table that's at this estate sale that I really wanted, but it's just a little out of my price range. So I'm like, I'll have to pass on those. And I really wanted them because I could have redid those very nicely, but not now. So anyway, that's what I'm doing later. It's one of those definite things where I'm gonna not ask permission, but forgiveness later for going to get these things. And yeah,
Should be fun.
yeah, we'll see. But other than that, I guess we can jump into this week's subject matter. And there's a little story behind it because this was decided yesterday while I was at work. So I did not have time for any notes. And, I got up not long before recording. So there was no time for notes. So I'm hoping this isn't too chaotic. Um, but it's pretty much, there's not a lot of information, but I thought it was interesting. Rachel and I and another lady were outside before work, just kind of bullshitting. Me and Rachel were talking about how we're caught up on all the podcasts we listen to, and she was asking me about a couple, and this lady pipes up with, yeah, there was an unsolved murder in Lennon, which is a village in Genesee County, which is where Flint is at. Um, that this murder went unsolved for 13 years. And maybe it seems like more than that. I don't know. We'll see. The murder took place on February 27th, 1997.
Hmm.
So that was a
So
year before
24.
yeah, so that would that actually 26 years ago.
Yeah. I just went with
27.
from 2000. So
Sorry, 27 years ago. I forgot. It's now 2024. Um,
we just discussed how we hate math. So there's your proof.
yeah, and it was unsolved for many, many, many years. Um, there was an arrest made on November 11th, 2021.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
a little more than 2 years ago. Um, so I'm gonna start out by reading the lady's obituary. Okay. As soon as I find it, I'm sorry. Again, I thought this might be chaotic. There we go. I do not know how to pronounce her maiden name. It's Romic, Heromic. It's spelled H-R-O-M-I. Nope, nope. Hromcik. Do with that what you will.
I can't
Um,
say it either.
yes. So Mary Frances Prior, age 88 of Lemon.
Words are difficult today.
I know how this is going. Um, age 88 of Lennon, died Thursday, February 27th, 1997 at her residence. Funeral mass, and this is from findagrave.com. Um, her funeral mass will be celebrated at 10 a.m. Wednesday, March 5th at St. Mary Queen of Angels Catholic Church in Swartz Creek with Friar Amos Wishmeyer. Okay. Um, Interment in the New Calvary Catholic Cemetery. Visitation will be at Sharp Funeral Home, Miller Road, Chapel. And then it gives the address. Um, so she was born August 4th in 1908 in Czechoslovakia. And had lived in Flint for many years, residing in Lenin for the last 15 of her life. She married Lennon Prior in 1951, and he preceded her in death July 15th, 1992. Um, Mary was a member of the St. Mary Queen of Angels Catholic Church. Um, she was a member of Daughters of Isabella, which I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. So if you know, shout it out. And was a leader in Girl Scouts, the Fair Winds Council. She formerly owned and operated Sweet Marie's, which was a candy shop. Surviving, and I'm not going to go through and read all her family members, just, give them a little bit of privacy. Um, Now, the lady that I work with, Debbie, she, I believe, said, and she gave the name of the place that she worked. I believe it was a bar. um that this lady used to come in with her. She had a little dog, and every day she would bring the dog in, and the staff would give the dog a bowl of water, and Mary would eat a bowl of chili every day. um and Mary was just the cutest little thing.
So apparently, Daughters of Isabella is a group from the Catholic Church under a motto of unity and friendship and um, basically like community service and things like that.
Okay. um Let me find her picture, because she was just, like I said, just this little adorable thing.
Oh, we have several ladies like that come into the casino.
I know, just so adorable. So, the one article that I have gives a little bit of the back. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of information about this. Um, Debbie was telling us. Now, I didn't go in that area in the 1997-98 time frame. I didn't start working in Flint until 2012. Um, that there was billboards up and down I-75, um, with like a room, and I think there actually is a picture of the billboard. Um,
Oh, okay.
it says, "Do you know who killed me? Cash reward up to $2,500." And it says, On February 27th, 88-year-old Mary Prior was brutally beaten and suffocated in Lennon. Her body was discovered in a swampy wooded area near Lennon Road and East M13, approximately 150 yards from her home. Um,
Wow.
yeah, so I don't know, it's sad. And this information that I'm giving, and this is probably really all the information prior to this was okay. Again, I said this is gonna be chaotic. I didn't have time for notes. This was right after the arrest. Um, again, it was 24 years from the time of the murder to an arrest. It says she was taken from her home and dragged. She was sexually assaulted and left for dead. Um, and it says the people that were responsible have been free since that day. So for 24 years, this person, people, it ends up being one, was according to this is from Debbie, this isn't from a news article. They had this kid was a suspect because he lived right down the road from her. And somebody had said like there was a moped in the area. This kid had a moped. So he was a suspect, but nothing until DNA. So, um, he had been charged with felony murder, criminal sexual conduct, first degree, and kidnapping. And he was being held in the Genesee County Jail with no bond. Um, and then this article talks a little bit about her obituary, which I just read. She was born in 1908 in Czechoslovakia. Cannot pronounce her maiden name. Um, her when her husband passed away, that's when the candy shop closed. That info came from Debbie. Um, they go on to explain that new scientific methods connected the suspect to the murder. Um, and there was a 1 in an octillion ratio. I don't even know what an octillion is, but I know it's a lot.
Well,
Um,
oct is 8, so
yeah,
8
it's
trillion.
yeah, an octillion ratio linking the suspect to the victim. The suspect's name, not that it matters because he's a piece of shit. Um, Michael Burr. He committed the murder when he was 17 and he was arrested at the age of 44. Yeah.
That's nuts.
So let me find one of the later articles where it talks about um, where he sentenced. He pleaded guilty. So thankfully, he pleaded guilty to charges of second degree murder, first degree criminal sexual conduct, and that was it. Um, obviously, I just said the DNA there was no doubt that it was him. He was arrested in November of 2021. Um, uh, he was sentenced 10 to 20 years, and if he gets out, he will have a lifetime of monitoring. His, he was sentenced for both things, 10 to 20 years, and his sentences will run concurrently. So that means at the same time. And this article is from WNEM TV5 and it was published 1 year ago today. So on February 3rd. um, he was sentenced to prison. And I know it's short, but I just, when she was talking about it, I'm like, I feel like I have to cover this because one, it's kind of local to me. Um, and I know how we do like to do close to home type stuff, both
Hmm.
your end and mine. And then just the fact that nobody else has covered that case. So yeah, it took 24 years, but they got him. What I say his name was Michael Burr. Yep, Michael Burr.
Wow. Um, did they happen to say whether or not they know if he committed any other of these, you know,
It
if he did
doesn't
it again or
it does not say he committed any other murders. Um, and I probably should have looked it up prior to doing this, but again, this was like last minute and I've been kind of busy. Um, but you can look up the Department of Corrections and you can see like all the charges that they have faced and what they're serving time for and like their expected release date. Um, and I didn't do that. So, I mean, maybe I'll post a picture of it in the group. But look, let's be honest. We both always say we're gonna post pictures, and we almost never do. And I'm gonna give kudos to Rachel because when she would say, do like when you took time off last year, when she would say, I'm gonna post pictures, she would post pictures. So I give Rachel so many fucking kudos for being on top of that shit.
I am terrible for posting. To be honest, I'm really not on Facebook anymore. Um, I almost never go on it. I
Yeah,
use the messenger, that's about it.
yeah. Yeah, and I will say and this is both of us should definitely be more active in our group. We should definitely
Hmm.
be more active. Because in my
Sorry.
opinion, Dan carries the group.
He does. He
Um,
really does.
and I know we've shouted him out several times on here for that, and I'm gonna do it again. Like and especially in the last couple days, he's posted many, many very interesting things.
I think I have 5 or 7 to catch up on,
Yeah. Um,
but I do catch up on them. I do watch them or
yeah,
read them, whichever the case may be.
yeah. Dan carries the group. He carries it so hard.
He does. And I'm so
Um,
grateful that he does.
I am too. Um, yeah, definitely. And I was thinking this the other day, like we both have to be so much more active in here. It's technically our group and like our moderator is he's taking the reins and love you, Dan. Um, but yeah, so there's that. So the piece of shit is in prison where he belongs. Uh and I'm sure it doesn't mention she had children. So I'm guessing their baby was their candy shop, I'm guessing. And then it
Yeah,
seems
most probably.
like after her husband's passing, she was busy with the church and Girl Scouts and Daughters of Isabella. Thank you for looking that up because again, I didn't do that either.
No
Um,
problem.
and I'm sorry if the whole thing was a little chaotic. I did read a couple of the stories. Uh, Yesterday when I had a couple of minutes. But yeah, other than that, I really didn't. Like I looked at several different articles and they all pretty much said the same thing. Um, I did send the one I read from that had a little bit of the background information before the arrest or right after the arrest. That one I did send to my messages. So I could find that one because you ever do that? You find one and you're like, oh, this is the perfect one for the research, and then you can't find it. Well, I have learned I just text it to myself.
Yeah, I've actually come across that multiple times where I'm looking something up, not even necessarily with research, but then I'm looking something up and it's perfect. It's exactly what I'm looking for. And I go to find it later to, confirm certain things or to, relay
And you,
information from it, and I can't find it. And I'm like, God damn it, I know
yep,
it was here. I saw it. It had every piece of information that I needed.
yep, yep.
Yeah, great fun.
Terrific fun. Um, so yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, I got nothing else.
yeah. I will say I think our next couple of episodes are going to be a little different than our normal stuff in the way they're presented. Um, and that's all I'm gonna say. Give
We
you a
gotta
little,
leave nuggets for you sometimes.
yeah, give you a little teaser, reel you in. Um, but yeah, other than that, I have the whole weekend off. Um, I was telling Jenny I'm gonna have yet another new look with this. Surprise you there too. Um, I'm kind of excited. And
I
I
think
was
that
gonna
look
wait and do
awesome.
it tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna do it tonight. So if I really fuck it up, I got time to fix it.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
Considering how my fails have gone for my hair lately. Yeah,
I
I'm
will
gonna
say
be
when I
happy.
get a wild hair up my ass to do something with my hair, I don't think I just do. Is that a good way to be? No. But this is how I am.
If it makes you happy and you're not hurting anyone else or yourself, where's the problem?
I think the last time I did something, and it's kind of what I'm gonna do again. I had was sitting there and I was actually watching Brad Mondo videos. And I looked at my husband. I said, "Can I do something crazy with my hair?" He was like, "You know what? I don't even give a fuck. Just whatever." So I ran to Sally's Beauty and I got some stuff and I came back and I did it. And I was so pleased with the final outcome. And we were talking about it last week. And my husband's like, "Yeah, I really liked it when you did that." I'm like, "Can I do it again?" He was like, "Yeah." So that's what I'm doing, but I'm taking it a step further. So I'm excited.
Come on, I can wait to see it.
So yeah, I'm gonna go get tables I don't have room for, and I'm gonna do my hair. Yay. So on that, so later on, I'll be sending you polos. Keep you
Your
busy.
transition.
I keep you busy at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a one or well, by the time this comes out, has had a wonderful weekend. Um,
Hope you
and
have a
we
great week ahead.
a great week ahead. And we will see you,
Next time.
yeah, next week. Bye.